macht meist am Max in der Bolle.
Hey guys, I'm Davina. Welcome to my channel where I share simple, healthy recipes and holistic wellness tips. So today it is my greatest honor to be able to share a recipe that is so near and dear to my heart. It's a recipe I grew up on. I'm going to be sharing a traditional Filipino dish called tocino. Now, tocino is this sweet, savory, meaty dish. You can use pork. Today I'm going to be using chicken thighs, and it's just so great to pair with any vegetables, rice, whatever your heart desires. It's just a great protein. I'm using chicken thighs that I got from local farmers market, so it's pasture raised and organic. I highly recommend that you try to source as natural and local as possible. Not saying you don't have to go to the grocery store. There are typically some pasture raised options, grass-fed options at grocery stores. I'm just a firm believer to try to eat as local as possible. One, it helps your local farmers. Two, it helps the environment. Think about if you're getting stuff from all the way across the world, how many resources and time that takes just to get on your plate. That's kind of a waste. And while we're talking about time, it's also just more nutrient dense to be able to source as local as possible. The best if you can grow it and have your own homestead dream, or you can just live off the land. I'm speaking out of my dreams right now. But yeah, right now I'm getting things local, or even Whole Foods typically will have some great pasture raised options, and they're pretty good about that. So anyways, let's get to making this recipe. Okay, so what you'll need is some pineapple juice. I got it from this organic canned pineapple juice. I'll show you. So I usually just used this this native forest pineapple. There's crushed pineapples, and I just took the juice from this canned pineapple. You'll also need some soy sauce or tamari. I'm seeing a lot of times, just because I private chef, I see a lot of people that are starting to have more sensitivities to soy, and a lot of people have sensitivities to gluten. I'm not bothered by either. I do avoid gluten, so I did find this this no soy tamari, and it's from this brand Sanjay. I love it. It was like heaven sent that I was able to find a soy sauce that was soy free and actually tastes like soy sauce. Not knocking amino acids or the coconut aminos, those are great. I love using them, but they just do not have the same taste as soy sauce. So if you are soy free or have soy allergies, I highly recommend you get this. Sweet. And typically this dish is made with brown sugar. I try to eliminate as much refined sugar from my diet, just because I come from a family of everyone had type 2 diabetes, so I'm kind of grateful that I have this like huge scare around cane sugar and refined sugar. So I opt for monk fruit, and I use this granulated monk fruit from the Lakanto brand. I do a tablespoon of Field Days organic apple cider vinegar, some Redmond sea salt. I use Redmond's because, again, not all salt is created equal. So you want to make sure you're actually getting salt with minerals in it, not just a bunch of additives. There's like people doing some weird shit with salt out there, so make sure you're getting real salt. Kind of some fresh black pepper. Have 4 garlic cloves and about a pound of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And again, as I said earlier, I always get it pasture raised. Okay, and if you can't get it pasture raised, just get it organic. Well, first try either grow your own chickens, harvest it yourself. If not, go to your local farmer's market or local farmer to get some organic pasture raised chickens. It makes all the difference, I promise you, even with taste, but also for your body. and try to find as best you can at the local market. All right, so what we're gonna do first is I've portioned out all of the ingredients for the marinade. This just makes your life so much easier when you just have all your stuff out. You'll save on time and it'll just be so much ease as you're preparing in the kitchen. So I have my cutting board out because I'm going to be mincing this garlic. And then I have my knife here ready. I have my whisk and a big bowl which I'll be putting the marinade in. And then I like to get a couple spoons out just for tasting, because you might need to shimmy some things around. I'm a firm believer, just keep tasting your way through the recipe. Your heart and your taste buds knows best. That's what I like to think of cooking. It's just like like a practice of presence. So, you know, although I'm giving you a recipe, I also really encourage you to just play around with it. Like, you say, if you really love garlic, 4 garlic cloves is enough. It's not enough for some people. Like, some people will just like take a whole bowl of garlic and just put it in their dish, and if that's what makes their heart happy, so be it. Okay, this recipe is more just like guidelines. It's for you, it's just a framework for you to just be as creative as you can in the kitchen. That's what I'm encouraging. And if you want to follow along on this video with the actual directions and recipes, you can find the actual recipe to this linked below. Alright, so let's get this marinade going. I'm gonna take the flat end of my knife and just start hitting the garlic so that it opens up, so we could take the skin off. These little things can be a pain to work with, so it's a lot easier when you just mash them. Cool. Okay, and then I'm going to compost the rest of them, and I like to just chop the little ends of these, those little guys. Oops. Okay. So I like to just slice them thinly. I personally like mincing garlic. I know some people are like, just use a garlic press. And if I am doing stuff in bulk, I will take a bunch of peeled garlic and pulse it in a food processor if I'm like doing a big catering event. But right now, we're just doing a recipe that serves about, 2 to 4 people. So I'm just gonna do it this way because I also find chopping to be a bit meditative. Connecting, and like as you're chopping, the whole sensory experience changes. Like now I can start smelling the aroma of the garlic, and it's just like filling up the room, warding off any vampires. Sorry, corny joke, I know. Alright, so this is pretty finely minced now. Cool. I'm just going to take this and put it in the bowl. Oops. Just going to put the garlic in the bowl. And I always have a cloth right next to me, makes it easy. I'm going to put this soy sauce in here. The pineapple sauce. I'm gonna put the monk fruit, apple cider vinegar, bit of salt, and pepper. I'm gonna whisk this up now. Always taste it. Perfect. Oh, I love pineapple. It's my favorite fruit. Maybe it's because I'm Filipino, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. Okay, we're gonna set this aside now. Now we're going to be taking our
boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and you're gonna just be cutting them up into bite-sized pieces. So just in cubes, just like 1-inch pieces. They're gonna, you know, some meat shrinks a bit in the pan, so you know you don't want to make them too small. As I do this, I really like to give thanks to the animal and everyone involved. I was like, to be able to give this meal energy, to give us energy. Like there's not one ingredient that I don't give reverence to, but especially animal product, which is why I'm such a firm believer of sourcing it locally, sourcing it humanely. Because I did not eat meat for a really long time, and a lot of it was because I did not agree with how factory farming practices were. It just didn't feel right, didn't feel humane, so this is why okay, so we're gonna do now, I'm gonna take marinade, put the chicken into the marinade, just get your hands in there and then just start. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now because this is chicken, I'm gonna wash this all off immediately. Okay, so now I'm going to cover this up in plastic wrap, and I'm gonna put it in the fridge to marinate for 4 hours or overnight. So you really wanna give it some time to just let those flavors really soak in there. So we'll be putting this in the refrigerator till it's all ready for us. Always wipe it down when you push it in. Okay, while we're all marinates, we'll just go and do other activities. So
the next day,
the chicken tocino has been marinating in all the flavors and all the goodness overnight in the fridge. So, and I let this sit out for at least 15 to 20 minutes just to get it to room temperature so that we can start cooking it off all evenly. You don't really want to let your chicken sit out too long for obvious reasons. But yeah, you definitely do want to make sure you don't want to just pull it straight from the fridge and cook it, because then yeah, it's going to have an uneven cook. So I'm going to just heat my pan up to medium-high heat. Heat up your pan with oil. I'm using Algae Cooking Club oil. This is an incredible oil that has algae, all the benefits and nutrients to it, and you can also cook it at a high smoke point, up to 535 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's awesome. They're a really sustainable brand. They have a cute packaging. I would say if you have any oils in your kitchen, use algae oil, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, or avocado oil for higher heat. If you have any seed oils or canola oil or vegetable oil in your pantry, I would just lovingly recommend to just toss those out. They're highly inflammatory. Okay, now that we're getting you're starting to see the oil getting hot,
you're just gonna start to see it bubble up. You're gonna see some smoke come through. And distribute that. Cool. I'm going to take the chicken, now that it's starting to heat up, I'm gonna start placing the chicken in there with some of the marinade. You don't want to overcrowd the pan too much, but this will probably be the perfect amount. So if you're doing more quantity, do it in batches. Okay, now after about 7 minutes, I'm gonna start turning them for another 7 minutes. That's the kind of char we're looking for. If it's getting a little too charred, don't be afraid to just turn the heat down a little bit. Okay guys, there you have it. Now we have some chicken tocino. Now we can make a typical Filipino breakfast, and I'll show you how. Traditionally, you use rice, but I'm trying to avoid rice. Quinoa is highly nutrient dense, which is why I'm deciding on quinoa. I'm gonna take some of the chicken tocino. To add a fried egg with that, and I like to add some microgreens into this mix. If you want, you can also add some green onions. There you have it. Have a typical Filipino breakfast, or lunch or dinner, chicken tocino. My greatest honor to be able to share my culture with you all and make more modifications so that it's a little bit healthier, so that you feel good in your body. If you like this recipe, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I'll be sharing a lot more healthy, simple recipes and holistic wellness tips. Alright, see you guys later. Much love.